Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why is that? Oh, you know why. You know why. Well, it's still February, the month of love, and I still feel like doing a couple more good shipping fics. And since there's a certain movie that's coming out in a few weeks that I'm right now eagerly waiting outside the movie theater for, tick tock, tick tock. Little raindrops falling, coming, tumbling down into the sound. I decided that I need some Power Ranger ships, i.e., Dino Thunder. So, let us go into that forbidden land, that scary world of Live Journal as we proceed to check out a fanfic known simply as An Unexpected Surprise by. Holy. I'm guessing that's the name. PR Bingo Prompt. This guy. Enjoy. Title: Happiness comes dressed in a man shirt. This may be one of the dumbest ideas you've ever had. Ethan growls, clearing a Connor from the passenger seat. And by the way, this thing is locked. Come on! Connor scoffed, not taking his eyes from the road. Although sunglasses weren't really necessary, they gave the unusually cloudy weather. It was particularly a rule. You always had to wear sunglasses when driving a red sports car. It's called taking the initiative. Teachers love it when you do that. Yeah, well, taking the initiative generally means approaching them after class, not driving down to their house on a Saturday morning to sweet talk them into raising your paper grade, especially when your paper sucked, Ethan pointed out. May I remind you that we had 2 monster attacks this week? 2! Connor retorted, hitting the blinker, guiding into the feet on Valencia Road. How was I supposed to write a paper on top of all our other work? Somehow, Kira, Trent, and I managed to do it, Ethan replied, rolling his eyes. Connor snorted. Yeah, well, let me know when you 3 are on a varsity soccer team and still finding time to schoolwork. Connor, it was a paper about dinosaurs. Even you should have been able to pull it off of a B. Dr. O should have given us an extension, Connor insisted as he arrived at Tommy's house. 2 monster attacks! But no, it's I was a karate instructor and helping out my community when I was a Power Ranger at your age. You must have learned how to manage your time more wisely. I still think that seeing him after class would have been a wasting a perfectly good sleeping opportunity, Ethan sobbed back, buckling his safety belt. Remind me why I'm here again. I was going to talk to him, but he practically bolted out of class yesterday. Wouldn't even say he was in such a rush for, Connor complained, and you're here to back me up. Ethan sighed. Now was probably not the time to remind Connor that he got an A+ in the paper. You don't think Dr. O had Ranger business, do you? He asked as he got out of the car, leaving it parked next to Tommy's black Jeep. He would have told us, Connor replied, frowning. But what if it was and looked important? The 2 Rangers quickly ascended the steps. Ethan was about to ring the bell when Connor reached around him and, as if he owned the place, simply pushed the door open. Connor! Ethan hissed, shocked. You can't just walk into someone's house. I really should have had to spell this out. This is not the way to make Dr. O sympathetic towards your cause. Last time we did this, he gave us morphers. Connor muttered back, keeping an eye out for Tommy as he ventured down the narrow hallway. Ethan rolled his eyes and decided that Connor had most likely been dropped on his head as a baby. More than once. Connor kidnapped me. He considered saying to Tommy when the Black Ranger, inevitably, and probably literally, kicked him out of his house. I had nothing to do with this. Suddenly, Connor stopped dead in his tracks. Oh, man, he whispered, staring up into the kitchen. What? Ethan absently inquired, distracted by some paleontology books on the samurai table. Now I know why Dr. O was so eager to leave class yesterday. Connor said, his voice so quiet, Ethan could barely hear it. Huh? The little ranger asked, flipping through one of the books. There was a pause as Connor turned around, realized Ethan was completely ignoring him. Were those science books? And rolled his eyes. Dude, he said, elbowing Ethan. Babe at 12 o'clock. That caught Ethan's attention. The book was quickly abandoned as he peered over Connor's shoulder into the kitchen. Holy shit, he murmured. A woman was rummaging through Tommy's refrigerator, wearing nothing but a man's dress shirt. Her back was to them, as he was currently bending over to put away a carton of juice. A very nice view, Connor and Ethan thought appraisingly, but they could tell she was short and slender. The shirt practically reached her knees, as he was humming tearfully. "Wasn't Dr. O wearing that shirt yesterday?" Connor asked, though it was very difficult to speak when his mouth was practically scraping the floor. "Since when has Dr. O been cool?" Ethan demanded, flabbergasted. "Talk about getting some," Connor murmured appreciatively. The woman stood at the refrigerator door and turned around. Too late, Connor and Ethan realized they were gawking, and that their jeans were getting very uncomfortable. They weren't teenage boys after all. The woman's eyes widened in shock when she saw the two rangers standing there, but just as quickly they narrowed in anger. She raised her arms in a fighting stance. "All right, you guys have 30 seconds to tell me what you're doing here before I kick both of your asses!" Connor raised an eyebrow. The woman was what, 5 feet, maybe 100 pounds, soaking wet? And he was Connor McKnight, star player of East Side's varsity soccer team, not to mention the Red Ranger. It wouldn't be a fair fight. Trying his failing to smother a grin, Connor lifted his hands and a mock surrender slowly advanced. "Connor, what are you doing?" Ethan groaned, staying firmly put. Ignoring the computer geek, Connor flashed his megawatt smile, the kind that made girls fall at his feet. Or he so liked to think, formally denying Kira's assertions to the contrary, and it got him out of trouble. "Hey!" he said, throwing his hand in a good measure. It wasn't easy to concentrate when a woman was very obviously not wearing a bra. "Eyes up here," the woman growled, noticing Connor's gaze was wandering. "I'm sorry, he's a Neanderthal," Ethan cut in, knowing that this was going downhill very quickly. "We're just here to see Dr. Dr. Oliver. It's about the Neanderthal said, is paper grain." The woman raised an eyebrow. "On a Saturday morning?" "Sorry," Connor apologized. In what he thought was a highly firing tone, he had, "I didn't realize that Dr. O had a hot date planned for last night." Ethan's face and palm suddenly had the pleasure of being rapidly and repeatedly introduced to each other. "Oh my God, how old are you?" The woman fumed indignantly, playing her hands on her hips. "You!" She suddenly trailed off, eyes darting to the band on Connor's wrist. Then her gaze focused on Ethan, who had found his own communicator being targeted by the same scrutiny. The two rangers glanced worriedly back at each other, wondering if somehow their cover had been blown. The woman was opening her mouth to speak from somewhere towards the back of the house. Tommy's voice came pointing to the kitchen. "Hey, beautiful. I'm getting a little lonely back there." "Oh my God!" Ethan squeaked, horrified, as Connor doubled over in silent laughter. "I really don't want to find a dear Tommy Lair in the kitchen. I've had enough of those, thank you very much," Tommy continued, completely unaware that his guest was no longer the only person in his home. "I really wish I had a video camera," Connor recovered long enough to say. The woman looked askance at him and raised her voice. Tommy?" she called. "You have some visitors, and I think they're the ones you were telling me about." There was a muffled "shit!" followed by the sounds of someone turning around in a confined space. A moment later, Tommy appeared in the kitchen, glaring fiercely at Connor and Ethan. The two rangers came down, torn between fear. They could practically feel the anger radiating towards them in absolute glee. The mentor's hair was going in a million different directions. He had a stain that looked suspiciously like pink lipstick smeared across his left cheek. And to top it all off, he was only wearing boxers and an ill-fitting sweater that really could disguise the fact that he hadn't been able to find his shirt. If only they had a video camera, the blackmail opportunities would have been priceless. Click! "What the hell are you two doing here?" Tommy demanded. Beside him, the woman stifled a grin. "This better be good, and by that I mean we better be under attack." "Connor kidnapped me!" Ethan immediately replied, holding his hands up and slowly backing away, like his mother had taught him to do if he ever saw a bear. "I had nothing to do with this." Connor said as he turned to Ethan. "It can, wait." "Yeah, it was nice meeting you," Ethan said, addressing the woman at Tommy's side. He really wanted to ask Dr. O who she was, but he also highly valued his life. "Sorry about that." "Connor McKnight and Ethan James, get back here right now," Tommy growled, holding the two of them in their tracks. and start explaining. Connor mumbled something about a paper extension. Tommy sighed. Connor, this is about the C- I gave you on your dinosaur paper. Please tell me you did not interrupt my very quiet and very enjoyable Saturday morning. He wrapped his arms around the woman's waist. He smiled up at her in a way that made Connor and Ethan feel even more like the intruders they were. To try and convince me to raise your grade. So, are you two, like, dating? Connor asked, desperate to tease the subject. Despite how transparent the question was, it made Tommy and the woman pause. Are we? The woman finally inquired, biting her lip. Tommy didn't hesitate. We better be, he replied, tightening his hold on her. I think we can handle that. The woman answered softly, attempting to conceal her grin. Connor and Ethan suddenly realized that Tommy was happier than they had ever seen him. That all the lines meant to cause the text had edged on his face were now gone. There's a reason he was wearing his shirt. Guys, Tommy said, remembering that they were there. I'd like you to meet Kimberly Hart, Kim, Connor, and Ethan. Sorry about the, way we met you, Connor stammered, an uncharacteristic blush crossing his cheeks. Kimberly Hart. Ethan thought, throwing at the name. It sounded familiar. Then it hit him. His jaw dropped. You're the original Pink Ranger! He blurted out. Kimberly nodded. I am, she proudly declared. Connor's eyes were roughly the size of dinner plates. And I was on the team before Dr. O, I might add. She jokingly nudged Tommy, who didn't seem to mind as she made the distinction. Ethan decided now was the right moment to ask how Kimberly Hart wound up at 1992 Valencia Road. Oh, so, that's a nice reference. Well, he said, glancing pointedly at Connor. We, should probably get going. Yes. Tommy agreed firmly. And next time, Connor, he added to the Red Ranger, I advise not using Wikipedia as your only source of information. Ethan snickered at Connor's chagrin and expressed, See you later, Dr. O, he said, giving Tommy a discreet thumbs up. So, that was the original Pink Ranger, Connor murmured in awe as he and Ethan left Tommy's kitchen. Man, I am so jealous of Dr. O right now. Dude, she's his age, Ethan pointed out. Hey, have you seen Amy Jo Johnson lately? That girl is still a fox! It's like a 10-year difference, Connor protested. Kira and Trent are going to flip when they hear this, he swore heavily. As the two rangers went down the hallway, Ethan glanced over his shoulder and saw Kimberly leading Tommy back into the bedroom. He shook his head and grinned, and followed Connor out the door. Ba 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 da 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 da. No, wait. Wrong generation. There's a light in the distance. See them coming closer with the force of ages. Centuries gone by. Okay, I gotta admit, Dino Thunder is probably like either 4th or 5th on my all-time favorite Ranger series scale. If only because it's not just Tommy being awesome. It's, of course, the three leads. Kira, Connor, and Ethan. And how great friends they become. You see, here's something that I think this fic brings up. Got great characterizations, got great romantic interests. By the way, that whole Dear John letter, I love how the comics fixed it up. Basically, Kimberly let Tommy go because she was afraid of getting involved in his ranger duties. She saw how important being a ranger was to him, so she tried to get rid of him. Which, I gotta admit, is an interesting way of looking at it, and it fits so much better than Kimberly trying to back away because she found some random guy. It kind of adds a little more to the drama and really, really heightens the emotional feel of the story. Also, it just makes them getting back together and always a ranger so sweet, and also adds some character depth. But anyway, all this fic does is make me think about something we discussed that me, my mother, and little brother were discussing while we were thinking about the new movie that's coming out. The new movie. Dip, drop, little raindrops falling down. Here goes the sound. It's this. We love the original series. We love them to death. The problem with their characterizations was that a lot of times they were portrayed too good, and we also still had to deal with a lot of their outside characterizations. However, there was still enough there for us to create stories. And the same can be said here. Taking what we have for the show and adding to this gives new layers of depth to the characters and gives us a chance to explore and enjoy these heroes more. Well, that was one down, thousands more to go. I'll see you next time.